of people in the audience tonight. Sam Ping, Mick Malloy, we're all here. We've got a fantastic show. Got one special guest who's going to keep up our sleeve for a little while. Also joining us on the show tonight, one of the absolute powerhouses from that super West Coast Eagles team of the early to mid-90s. Chris Lewis going to join us on the show tonight. Can't wait for that. There's a lot to get through before we get to any of that. It's been another massive week.
Massive week, and I've got to be honest, the show starts on a bit of a sombre note.
We're not starting to sour, no.
I know, but we only do this because we love you. But the Logie nominations were out this week, and
snubbed.
Tragically, Andy Marr snubbed for a Gold Logie nomination. How many years is? I know. How many years is that now?
Oh, it's every year since 1956, I believe.
Since the advent of TV. No,
so
I fear my time has passed, Sam.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a safe bet, I reckon. Yeah, I don't think. And of course, you've probably got 10, haven't you? What do you got?
Oh, I've got a couple flying around.
Yeah. Have you really?
I mean, I don't know if you know this. I'm ineligible. I got 3 weeks for punching Manu. I'm not happening.
So is Andy any chance to make the telecast?
Yeah, I have. I've got a bit of a scoop for you, mate. I know you're not nominated for a Gold Logie, but you have been nominated, and we are going to see you in the in memoriam package. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, but a bit off colour.
Maybe we should go. Where is it?
It's on the Gold Coast. So would you consider going?
We're going to go to the Gold Coast during Schoolies week. Just find it. It's a fun time.
Maybe we'll give it a pass, I reckon, until one of us is up for the big one, I reckon.
Get to the footy.
Just trying to find out where the line is tonight. Just trying to work out what we're doing here.
Hey, it has been a very big week in the world of footy. The first coach has departed for 2019. Brad Scott. Emotional scenes. I mean, for 9.5 years, they poured so much energy, emotional energy, time and effort into one another, these players and that coach. Great respect and regard between the players and the outgoing North Melbourne coach. And they sent him off beautifully, didn't they, with a really spirited win over the Western Bulldogs.
I heard the phrase amicable parting of the ways all week. And would that be fair to say,
That's fair to say, yeah, absolutely.
That's boring?
It's boring. What would you have preferred it?
I don't know, fake his own death. Really, a bit of drama, a bit of excitement.
I think it was pretty amicable. I think there's great regard between Brad Scott and...
Do you feel for him?
No, I don't feel for him. No, I think his time's up, and I'm sure that, you read the tea leaves, don't you? You think that Brad Scott's got something coming up around the
Just
corner.
feel it's sad it happened before you got a chance to go to the party at Gill's house, the coaches' meeting.
That's true. Good point.
Probably already got a bottle of wine at home.
No, that's a good point.
It's
always good fun.
It does free up a lot of money for North to chase a coach who probably won't go there. So...
Hey, that game will also be remembered for this incident where, Brad Scott, did he run out of his way to brush past David King? There's been simmering tension there for some time since an article that King wrote about him. It's fair to say that's fairly ripe stuff, do you believe, Sam?
Well, firstly, the cameraman should have told Kingy that he was hot, by the way. There's one thing. But I'll defend Brad Scott too. It's obvious that David King was in direct line of sight between Brad Scott and the huddle. And I think if you look at another view of it, Mickey, you can see very clearly he had no other option but to go straight down. He couldn't. There was no other way.
He couldn't. No, you're right.
What was he going to do? Go around him?
No, his path was taken. There's no question about that.
10 years there, almost 10 years, 2 preliminary finals.
A great record.
Undeniably a great job, and pretty likely he'll coach again. But for me, a highlight of his tenure at North Melbourne was in 2013 when, after a game against Collingwood...
Says everything.
This says a lot about Brad Scott now and why we love him. The Collingwood had left their banner, their sponsorship
backdrop.
Their backdrop, and so he was about to come in and do his press conference, and he decided to get rid of it in typical Brad Scott fashion. That is the only way to handle your affairs, don't you reckon?
No, I think he's straightforward.
Hey, I love that. Brad Scott. He will coach again.
I think he'll coach again. I think he will.
I'm really disappointed. I'm really upset.
Why?
Because he dodged the under the pump board.
What?
Now, I like, and I've successfully predicted the sacking of every coach by putting him under the pump board.
This is true.
Yeah.
He must have sensed it coming.
Hey,
he's jumped.
We're all excited to see the under the pump board.
Come on.
Mate, I love the under the pump for?
But he's dodged a bullet.
We can't
He's
go-
gone too early.
So he knew it was coming.
You missed it.
had him lined up.
Asleep at the wheel, I was. Hey, you snooze, you lose. Would you mind if I did a retrospective?
Under the pump.
Underpumped him retrospectively.
Other ones, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
all right,
can
why
I do
not?
that?
Yeah, why
You
not?
want to put him up?
Yes, cop that, Brad Scott. You have been...
You're doing retrospective. Under the pump.
While I'm here, can I do a couple of others I missed?
Why
not?
Just slip
Yeah,
through
go
the
on. Yeah, go
cracks.
on. Yeah.
The Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah.
You had it too good for too long. That's what you get. Guess who's extinct? You are.
Wow, you certainly told him.
Captain Cook.
Why wrong, Captain Cook?
I said, don't go to Hawaii. Whatever you do, give the Polynesian Islands a miss. Did he listen? No.
You were banging on about that one for a
Who's
while.
laughing now? Cook?
Yeah.
It gives me no joy, but Sizzler. Yeah, Sizzler.
Really?
Sizzler owned this town. They had a lock on it.
What was your
They
favourite one?
opened the door, and then next thing you know, Burger King.
What was your favourite dish at Sizzler, Mickey?
Well, it depends what special sauce I was having at that time, but they were all good.
Okay, forget about the oldies,
Yeah.
like the ones that
Do you want to do one?
have you got any new ones that are
Can I actually-
right
Have you got
front?
one?
We're going to do
You're doing a retrospective?
If we're doing retrospective, I could just
Sure,
put one up
fire
there.
away.
There's a power plant in Chernobyl. I just want to make Oh, well, at least we know where the line is. Right here.
Nothing for the Hindenburg? What are you doing?
What else you got?
As
Can I
I
have a
said,
go?
Mickey, you got any new ones
Oh,
for
yeah.
us?
Well, you want to do this? We'll do this. Yeah. All right, here we go. Under the pump. I tried to do it. Reece Shaw.
He's just taken
He's
over.
only just started.
He will be sacked by quarter time against the Tigers. Mark my words.
We're talking about... We're talking about coaches. What about Simon Goodwin at Melbourne?
Nope, he's not under the pump.
How is he not under the pump? They're like 3 and 7 or something.
No.
What? They're 16th on the ladder and having a terrible season.
He's not. He's not.
Okay.
We rehearsed this. I'll do it again.
All right. I'll do it again.
Let me start. Okay, no, you start.
Yeah.
Go.
What about Simon Goodwin?
No, not Simon Goodwin.
Why not? They've been going really badly. Why? Who have you been talking to?
Simon Goodwin. How hard is it? Here, look, listen. Listen to Simon Goodwin and you'll understand why he's not under the pump.
There's no questions that we're still seeing signs of improvement. Our players' credit, they stay connected. But there's some good signs today as well. We could have turned it up today, but we stuck at it.
Yeah, no, good on him. No, they're not. They're okay. They're
A
travelling
bunch of
beautiful.
troopers, they are.
Yeah,
down
they're
there.
going
Geez,
beautiful.
they really know how to dig deep when it counts.
Better say after that. Am I under the pump? I'm sorry.
What else? What else is under the
Yeah, what
pump?
else?
Okay, sure. Meat pies. Did you see the meat pie? This was served up in Adelaide. Have a look at that.
That's true.
It's got no meat in it. You had one job, meat pie. Provide meat.
Yes.
You didn't do it.
That's fair enough.
I think that's the new 4 and 20 vegan pie.
Okay, Josh DeLuca.
I'd turn it up.
Mate, that's on another show. That's okay. What are you doing?
Josh DeLuca.
Yeah.
Number one draft pick, mid-season draft, Carlton.
Why is he under the...
Pardon? He's number one draft pick, Carlton. You wait, there'll be a march for him once a year. Here we go.
Hey, hold on. Just on Josh DeLuca, can I just say, I reckon the mid-season draft is lucky not to be up there.
What?
The mid-season draft itself.
Yeah, go on. What?
I wouldn't say it's
Why?
the night of
What's
nights.
wrong with the mid-season
Well, have a look
draft?
at the glitz and glamour of the AFL's. Look, it's more a... it's more... They held it in the AFL cafeteria, which was nice. Carlton grabbed Josh DeLuca with a number one pick and a ham and salad wrap. Mate, that is not a great...
Yeah.
You can do better.
Club's got there early to get a window table. Hey, Chris Scott.
Oh, this is magnificent.
Chris Scott
What?
under the pump.
Why is he under the pump?
Because you know how twin brothers have that thing where they feel each other's emotions?
He's not all twitchy. Why are you doing the twitchy thing?
Because they get that thing. I know. Brad's having a hard time. On that note, Brad Scott. I'm putting him up now.
Why is Brad Scott up and under the
Because
pump?
there's a good chance he may be Carlton's next senior coach. Have I missed anyone or anything?
That's fairly
Is
solid.
that it?
That's
I think
fairly
that's it,
solid.
isn't
Under
it?
the pump, everybody. No, that's pretty solid. Hey, missed
You
one.
can all say you were there that night for the Simon Goodwin incident.
Yeah, you have missed one, actually,
Who?
I reckon.
Who?
Yeah, well, Gary Ablett. I mean, you missed Gary Ablett, should be under the pump. I mean,
okay.
We had the big celebration last week because he didn't get reported for the first time in 3 weeks, and then a week later he comes out and plants one on Anthony Miles' chin and cops the week. Gary Ablett could have easily been on the under the pump board, couldn't
Yeah,
he?
unfortunately, a little nasty. So he did that up there on the Gold Coast last week. He got a week. He stayed up on the Gold Coast all week and he only came back today.
That's right.
So he's officially spent more time on the Gold Coast now than when he played for them.
Hey, it's good to see
true.
that after a failed attempt or two, Mick Christian, MRO, finally got his man. So well done to you, Chris. You got little Gary, which is a credit to you.
Yes, and it's not a massive surprise to me. I mean
What's that?
that Michael Christian, they finally got Gary Ablett because he's in
Why do you
charge.
say that?
I'm saying he's in charge of everything, and the AFL they've got the right man in Michael Christian.
Yes.
The steady hand of Christian at the tribunal is a good thing to have because he's always all over everything. Have a look at this.
All right, you all right? Okay. What brand is it?
What round is it?
Go on, Siso.
It's round 10, Chris. So it's 10 weeks of you being asleep at the wheel. Mate.
All good.
Hey, don't go anywhere. Chris Lewis not too far away from joining us, but when we come back, one of Sam Peng's all-time favourite players is going to join us.
See ya.
Here we go.
Will the new look north start with an upset against the Tigers? Friday Night Footy on 7.
Fantastic,
It's a great
absolutely.
pub.
Welcome back to the
Great
front bar.
style.
That is a great pub. If you come to Melbourne from anywhere around Australia, anywhere around the world, make sure you drop into the Grey Starling. We've got all the social media platforms available to you. If you've got any comments to make, you want to send anything in to the front bar that we should know about, make sure you Google it in. We'd like to ask you to Google it in here on the show.
I know you and we love that, right? But explain that. A couple of weeks
explain
ago,
it, yeah.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Mick was asking for, I think it was, what was it, Chris Scott's
A photo, the photo, yeah.
And he, down the barrel, just said, if you've got it, Google it in.
You did say that, old man.
I know more about social media than you do.
Oh, of course you
I'm
do.
like Elon Musk.
What that means either.
For no apparent reason,
What?
I just wanted to say something about Stuart Dew. His stocks are high at the moment.
Oh, he's going beautifully. No, Gold Coast. He's got that team humming.
Absolutely. His stocks are understandably high for a team that's second last on the ladder.
No, but they're
Excuse me, are they second last on the ladder?
Well, they're low down the reaches, but they're playing competitive footy, the Gold Coast aren't.
Anyway, he's a rising star in the coaching ranks, and you can see why. And sometimes with these great football brains, sometimes I'm watching and I just wonder what's on their mind, what's going through these great football brains.
Yeah, good.
And Stuart Dew, have a listen to what's going through his mind at this post-match press conference.
Fish.
Fish. I missed that the first time. It's just fish. What's going through your mind right now, Mickey?
Chips. Some sea chips.
That explains a bit about both, I reckon.
Hey, you're familiar with a footballer called Gary Lyon?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Familiar with Gary Lyon? You all know Gary Lyon? Yeah, he won't come on our show, which is kind of unfortunate for Gary, because I have a number of clips from a little show called the AFL Squadron.
Yes, you do. Yep.
Which was made some time ago by a very young Gary Lyon. A young and inexperienced Gary Lyon, and I've sworn to play a clip from that show every week until Gary agrees to come on. We can do it the easy way, do it the hard way. We're doing it the hard way. Have a look at this clip, one of my favourites from AFL Squadron.
And it's a big welcome this morning to our 3 footy quiz contestants, and they are Tom Gosling, Kirsty O'Brien and Travis Pilcher. I wonder who they barrack for, Devo?
Oh, it's got me beat.
Fantastic. It's fantastic.
Chemistry.
Give us a call, Gary. Give us a call.
It was one of the great TV shows about footy, and I've got to say, footy has, for over the years, developed some fantastic theme rounds, so many great event matches that we look forward to. There's some great highlights across the annual
What's
calendar.
your favourite?
Oh, well, I think Dreamtime for me is my favourite now. But there's so many.
Same for me. Yeah. And, of course, Anzac Day.
Anzac Day's a ripper, no doubt about
What about
that.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, the match in Shanghai for me.
Well, that's on this weekend.
Really?
It is on this
It's
week.
the one you look forward to.
It's the one out of the calendar. It's
Yeah,
the one
right.
I always pencil in.
Is there a reason you're particularly fond of it?
Well, I just think that, once... And by the way, who is it? This year it's Port Adelaide.
St Kilda, Port Adelaide,
Yeah, because last year it was Port Adelaide and Gold Coast.
Correct.
And what an exhibition.
Showpiece.
What a showpiece it was. Have a look at some of the stuff they served up. There were... Have a look at this. All the skills of the game on display here.
That's how you win the hearts and minds of a billion fans.
Oh, yeah.
There were millions of people not watching this around the world. You know that? Have a look at it.
And every one of them won't be watching it again this time.
I'd hate to be St Kilda having to follow that up there. So Port Adelaide and St Kilda.
That wasn't great. No, that wasn't great.
But I always said it's a long way to go if you want to leave at three-quarter time.
Let's hope it's a close game.
Let's hope it's a close game. You're really tough. I'll tell you what, and if you do go, you want to make sure you take everything you need
It's a good point.
with you. As this Port fan found out last year, here it is, the ritual pre-game. You get your scarves out. Have a look at this bloke over here on the right. What's one thing you need? A scarf! No, mate. What an idiot.
Have your scarf.
Immediately after that, he ate 4 imaginary hot dogs.
The worst thing about that is, to make matters worse, China have a one scarf policy over there. You got to have at least have one, Murray. You got to have one.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't know that until you told me. On the show, one of the great West Coast Eagles.
And a good friend of our show, Scotty Cummings, the great Scotty Cummings, is he's texted in during the break. And he
had to get involved, did he?
Yeah, he had to get involved. He had to get involved. And he actually had to ask you about true or false that you, with the medical staff, had an ear infection for 10 years.
Yeah, still got it.
And why was that?
Look, I wasn't a big fan of the pools and
He didn't like ice, he didn't like
water.
pool.
Yeah,
so you just told him, you said, I've got an ear infection, I'm not going doing the swimming.
Yeah, so I'd rather go.
Did you get a doctor's certificate from your backyard doctor?
Well, yeah, they didn't accept it, but look, the odd occasion we'd be swimming and like the boys would be finished and I'd be still halfway through and they'd just leave me in the pool. I just gave up in the end.
Hey, we're getting to know a lot about your footy career, but I found this during the week though, and it was a little kind of a player profile quiz. It's for a young Chris Lewis at the age of about 22, and it struck me here, mate. Your favourite food steak, favourite movie, Flatliners. Now,
A long time ago.
I know it was a long time ago, but who was that? Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts,
Kevin
Bacon. That's not their favourite movie, right? and they were in it.
I wouldn't imagine it would be.
So,
what was your favourite scene?
Geez, I can't remember.
Why would you have said Flatliners?
Oh, look, it was one of those movies that was a bit quirky, when they were sort of trying to kill themselves and they come back with these weird sort of vivid
issues.
Images,
Yes.
Something
they did.
I can see why. I can see why you loved it.
Can't wait for your movie show to come out.
What are you doing outside of footy these days?
I live in Port Hedland, mate. I work for...
What's your job?
F&G, train driver.
You can't say F&G on this show.
Right. I'll tell you what.
No. You're a train driver?
Yeah.
Is this on the big industrial ones? Is this because they've got trains that go for like 8 miles. 4 miles.
Yeah, 3K. So
didn't one recently? Well, I hope it's not you.
No.
Didn't a driver get out and the train just kept going?
Yeah, that was the other mob.
Wasn't you? That's a funny sight. Seeing a guy running through the Pilbara trying to catch up to his own train.
Probably running away from the boss, mate. I drive trains and actually involved with playing management company with a few of the old boys.
Because you did at one stage have your own building company, and I think you were going to go. Where are you going to go?
You have to bring this up?
Yes, I do. Here's how it was covered. You and your mate Carl Wing. Here's how it was covered by the news at the time.
They've been mixing it with the best in the AFL for years. Now my two teammates are stirring things up in the business world. Are you serious about this building business, though, Louis?
Yeah, we're pretty serious, mate. We've, like footy doesn't go on forever, and we've got to get buying something that's going to keep us going for the rest of our life. So, yeah, we're pretty serious.
Yeah. How long did that last?
About 6 weeks.
6 weeks and a lot of money. Yeah. 6 weeks.
Oh,
you did your dough.
Yeah.
You did your dough. Now, I also heard. Can I ask you this? And this is, I'm flabbergasted by this, if it's true. Did you, after you retired, do some umpiring?
I did.
Wow.
I know.
Because your relationship with umpires was probably testy at best. Do you think that's fair? I mean, here's a couple of examples of you being pretty hard to read on the field. We were never going to die wondering what you were thinking at the time. How'd you go as an umpire?
Good, actually.
Did you used to take abuse like that?
No, I didn't actually. I actually had a bit of respect for umpires after the couple of years I did because, you're sort of out there, there's 3 umpires, but there's about another 48 umpires out there with you, running around in different coloured jumpers. So,
so if a player gave you a bit of that sort of treatment, what might you have said to him when you were actually umpiring?
Well, actually, there was this one instance where this bloke wouldn't shut up all day, and he's playing in the centre. And then late in the third quarter, I said, mate, can you just bloody give it a rest for a while? So, yeah, it was an interesting...
So you give it back?
And you've clearly cleaned that up for live TV. Which I do appreciate, by the way.
Over the career, you got into a bit of strife with them over the journey. You were a reporter a few times. 23 weeks you missed. That's a fact, I mean. And they got you for just about everything. They didn't miss you. There were just about everything you could get reported for. You got reported for over the journey.
And some new things, No, a pretty colourful record, I must
were you
admit.
Your own worst enemy out there at times, do you reckon?
Probably, yeah, but no, not good reading.
You're a physical character, and you took it on yourself to play that role within the team, didn't you? I'll take a yes or a no.
You got
involved.
Got involved. Your 23-week suspension would indicate you got involved.
Well, you got involved. Some of the odd ones were, there for, you can Google them and find out. But this was probably the oddest. The most infamous, really, with Todd Viney, the day that got involved in a bit of a skirmish and you bit his finger. 3 weeks you got back in 91 for this one. Can you remember?
Oh, what about the players' code, Todd?
Can you remember how that... I mean, was that a blur? Is it still a bit of a blur to you how it all played out that time?
No, look, it was pretty full on, actually. It was big news and the media were all over it. And, I remember coming to...
Did you have to fly over to the tribunal in those days?
Yeah, well, we did for that.
Yeah.
Generally, we were staying... did a video link-up, but... I got off the plane.
Did you get off that plane like Hannibal Lecter?
Well, almost. Maybe I should have. But they picked us up on the tarmac with the car and all backdoor entrances and
I remember it being just massive. I'm sure you would have covered it. Who were you working for at the time? Do you remember?
I can't. It's Inside Footy, I think.
Sorry, I asked. But I tell you what, though, and the next day, though, so the football world seemed to be divided about what had gone on, and everyone had an opinion. But next day on Sports World, on the footy panel on Sports World, you found a couple of allies in...
A couple of superstars.
Yeah, a couple of superstars in Bob Davis and Ron Barassi, who they defended you strongly, Chris.
I don't think he should have gone out whatsoever.
But fighting a finger, if it's in your mush, what's wrong with that, for goodness sake? Is that as bad as a kick, as some people are saying? I can't believe it.
Would you have bitten someone?
If something is being done to my face, yes.
Well, there you go.
When I was a young boy growing up, I always knew there was 2 golden rules in football. One is punch from behind, and the second one was never put a finger in Ron Barassi's mouth. So I'm not surprised at that.
Just before we let you go, do you like watching the modern game? Do you like the way the game's being played in 2019?
Oh, I like the 6-6-6 rule.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, it sort of freed it up a bit and it looks a bit more prettier. But, it sort of got a bit... lost a bit of interest there.
Not much room for the playmakers, the players like you to do their thing.
No, but I think it's going for a step in the right direction, so good.
Mate, we just want to thank you because you were just so much fun to watch and it was always exciting and you never knew what was happening, but you're a superstar of the game.
I always thought you were a poor man's Les Fong.
Thanks for coming on the show. Chris Lewis, our very special guest. What a joy it is to have him on the show. Don't go anywhere. Nick's multi on the other side. to have you with us. Mixed Multi not too far away, but the round 11 games, a lot of interesting games set down tomorrow night. Will North Melbourne continue to rally post Brad Scott? That'll be interesting to see. The Hawthorn Brisbane game. Some really interesting games.
One in Shanghai, of course.
When is the Shanghai one?
Sunday, yeah.
So St Kilda vs Port Adelaide, they're playing for the Baby Formula Cup. So all right, what are we going to... This time...
We haven't done this before, so...
What are you doing? We're going to do this, are we?
We're going to do the ins and outs.
Right, great.
So we've been...
Or a footy show, we should do that sort of stuff.
We may have noticed we've been putting the teams up in the rounds, but just we thought this week that we'd actually do the ins and outs of all the teams.
Great.
We're just going to fly them across the bottom of the screen.
A crawl across the bottom of the screen.
But we thought that we didn't want to actually do anything...
That would distract.
At the desk at the bar that would distract anyone. If you want to focus and concentrate on the ins and outs. So we're going to do something that will not distract you. If you don't look up, you're not missing anything up here. Just if you want the ins and outs, just look at the bottom of the screen. And so you can roll them as soon as I ask this question to Andy. Andy, what's the greatest performance by a Carlton player you've ever seen?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked me that question, Sam, because Carlton, of course, take on Essendon this week in a clash of traditional rivals. And it takes me back to 1999, of course, when Essendon was one of the powerhouses of the competition, had an 18-4 home and away record at the end of the home and away season. Carlton 12 and 10 were battles, finished sixth on the ladder in that particular season. And I remember preliminary final day as clear as it was yesterday. Interesting to note that day, that was the day that Steve Bracks knocks Jeff Kennett out of the state election here in Victoria. But Essendon, of course, the unbackable favourite going into that game. They come from behind at half-time, scintillating third quarter. They were dominating at three-quarter time. Siren came at the right time for Carlton, ceased the Essendon momentum. And then what we saw thereafter was one of the great performances
having a drink upstairs
from Anthony Koutafidis you're ever likely to see. He had 19 and 6, 19 disposals in 6 months, up to three-quarter time. In the last quarter...
I think we're done here.
He had 10 disposals, 6 marks and 2 goals.
Well done, everybody.
I'm not finished yet. I haven't got to what happened after the last quarter.
No, you're done.
Right, no worries. Time now for Mixed Multi.
And it's coming in hot today.
Off the back of the ins and outs.
Off the back of the ins and outs. You know what? You know when you get a good feeling and you can't shake it? I've got it. This is it. Bet everything.
No, you don't.
Go Cocoa Bananas.
No, don't go Cocoa
Really
Bananas.
stretch yourself. And have a go at this multi. Are you all right?
Yeah, we're right.
Good to go? All right, first up, this is great. Have a look at Dimmer at training and his interaction with young star Sydney Stark. Have a look at this. Hey! How's that? I'd like to wager that he's telling him, Sydney Stack, he needs to find better music to dance to than this. It's great, isn't it?
No, it's all right.
Can I have that?
No, you can't have that.
I'd like to wager that you don't pronounce Stack Stark.
I said Stack.
Not the first time.
No, you didn't. He said Stark.
Oh, it's like doing a show with your mum.
You can't have
a Stack.
No, you didn't.
Let's go back to the.
Oh, right. Go back to the tape.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Right.
Roll the ins and outs again. Roll the ins and outs again.
Not since the Simon Goodwood incident have you been so helpful.
Sorry.
All right, I'd like to wager then that Virat Kohli also regrets dancing to our theme music. Yeah, baby. It's our theme music is just... Can I have that?
No, you can't have that. You're done. You can't have that. How about you take Dave Warner to be man of the match against Afghanistan as we kick off our World Cup campaign? I'll give you $6.50.
All right, I'll have that.
Okay,
let's go to the big second leg.
Righto.
You know, there's certain responsibilities that are important, aren't they? Like when you're charged with carrying a coffin, and you need to take it seriously. I mean, you've got one job, get it safely to its destination. Now, mean, I'm for a bit of piss farting around. That's highly inappropriate. I'd like to wager you should only scatter the remains of a corpse when they've been cremated.
Good bet.
Is that a good bet?
It is a good bet.
You'll take that.
I'm not taking it. No. But how about you take the Bombers to beat the Blues? And
I will.
$1.47 for that. What do you reckon?
I'd like to wager that when that coffin fell over, not only was there the body, there was this show in it as well.
It could be this leg. Okay, third leg. Listen to this. This guy, right, have a look. He's opening the car door, and here comes a motorbike, and bang! He hits him. It's not over.
Right.
Now, he becomes a good Samaritan and helps out the driver. He's just knocked off. Grab the bike. Thanks, mate. You're fantastic. And no! I'd like to wager there's some guy at home waiting for his Uber Eats who's really pissed off right now.
No, you can't have it, but how about you take the mighty Liverpool to beat Tottenham Champions League final, and I'll give you $1.95.
Oh, well, I'm not happy about it, but I will take that.
You good
Are you ready to beat this baby home?
Yes, please.
I've been ready for a while.
All right, have a look at this. You know, I'm not a huge fan of juggling, but this one I like. Here we go. This will be at Faffy Place. Here's the fire twirler. Here comes it, juggling, and fantastic scenes here. And... I'd like to wager that onlooker is lucky the guy wasn't juggling chainsaws at the time.
No, you might be right, but I'm not going to give you that. How about you take Bams on Fire to run a place at Caulfield Race 6, and I'll give you $2.50. What do you reckon?
I was already on that horse. Seriously.
There you go.
Let's have a go. Bag it up. What do we got? Boy!
You happy with that?
Wow. This one cannot lose.
It can.
No, it can't.
No, it can. To get on Mixed Multi, jump on the Sportsbet app, look for Mixed Multi in the Mega Bets section of the app. And
bonkers.
No. Please gamble responsibly. Let's get a break out of the way. When we come back, the last show.
All right, here we go.
Tomorrow night, the big freeze, of course, coming up on Queen's birthday, and tomorrow night on the footy coverage, Neil Danaher's going to announce the next 2 sliders going down, and it's an absolute joy for us to know that Neil Danaher, with his great mate Chris Fagan, are going to be on the show next week. So tune in tomorrow night to see who the next 2 sliders are going to be, and already can't wait for next week with Neil and Chris Fagan to be on the show, which is going to be absolutely fantastic.
We're doing last shout, aren't we?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
My last shout, my last shout is to the great Les Fong. I say this sincerely, much like Chris Lewis, but I mean, it's a big thrill for us to have you on the show, and me in particular, and I want to make sure, have you enjoyed your night tonight, mate?
Like, very much so, Sam. It's been fantastic. And I've got to say a few thank yous as well, or a few hellos, if I may, very quickly, to the family, particularly the grandchildren back in Perth, Jataya, Luke, Evie and Ollie and Pumbi. The Tasty Tuesday boys that got together on a Thursday night.
Whoa. Who?
The Tasty Tuesday boys.
What do they do?
We get together and have a meal together.
Oh, hello. Right. Tasty Tuesday.
Just to clarify, we're just finishing the show with Les just doing shout-outs to people you know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Tasty Tuesdays. That sounds like a bit of fun. What are you doing?
Right, I'm not standing for that. That's the Tasty Tuesday boys are under the pump. The Tasty Tuesday boys. Yeah. What do you eat? What do you get together and eat?
Whatever someone wants to serve up, Mike. So, yeah, it varies.
To be honest, it doesn't look like you're too choosy. So.
Who else you got over there to thank?
Look at all the members and crew at the City Beach Tennis Club. All the support of the City Beach Tennis Club.
That's a legitimate club, isn't it?
Yes.
No, Mick.
All the supporters of the North Beach Amateur Football Club.
Yep. North Beach?
Yes.
What's their mascot?
It is a tiger.
Oh, I wish it was chopsticks.
And of course,
anyone else, Les?
Yes, my granddaughter's Marist girls football team.
Yep.
Oh. Well, we got a couple of the ex-AFLW girls in the crowd tonight. Billy Malone and Shay Audley are over there.
A round of applause.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Are you involved with your daughter's club?
I am the team runner.
Nice.
And my son is the coach.
She wouldn't be sending out too many messages.
No. And the last one to I must put this into a very special friend of mine, and hi, Jodie Busby.
What are you, to Jodie? To all the best to Jodie Busby. That's it. We are done and dusted. Honestly, it has been a joy to have Liz on, one of the great players in West Australian footy history on the show. Chris Lewis. What a joy it was to have him on the show as well. Thank you for watching. Neil Danaher, Chris Fagan on the show next week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next. Bye for now.